Welcome to Sisters in the Kingdom.
I'm Tori,
And I'm Kristen.
and we're two sisters who love all things Disney. To start us off, let's loop back. Last week, we shared that 101 Dalmatians saved the Walt Disney Company. Fact or fiction?
Okay, I'm thinking fiction because Cinderella saved it, right? I feel like we had something similar to this, and it was like the Cinderella story. Yeah?
No. I mean, yes, we've had something similar, but this is a fact. So, Sleeping Beauty was released 2 years prior to this, and
Uh-huh.
Sleeping Beauty tanked, like, did awful.
Oh.
Yeah. And so 101 Dalmatians came out, and it was kind of like a revival, and it allowed animation to continue.
And this was like the OG.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
was a silly question. I just prefer the
I
people.
don't think Glenn Close was back when Aurora was. I don't think Glenn Close. Maybe she met Walt Disney, but I don't think so.
All right.
Information, Caden? No. Here we go.
Add it to the list.
Add it to the list. So, if you're watching this, you might have an idea of what we're doing today. And if you're not watching, we will explain. But we're going to continue with our collection series. And this week, we're going to talk about pin trading.
Pin trading, we've talked about it in tiny tidbits like here and there. We've talked about mystery things, trading in the parks. We always refer to pin trading. What does that mean? Well, we're going to break down the history, where to get pins, what we have, the cost, all of it. And I am wearing a large collection of pins that honestly is like stabbing my neck as we speak.
I'm dying right now because you look like the most ridiculous Disney adult ever. She's got
No, I don't. If I had a popcorn bucket on, then I would really be thriving.
she's she's wearing custom ears that are like the wooden die cut, so they've got her name on them with a bow, and then her pin lanyard is insane. Like, it's so full.
It's so full because I don't wear it anymore, so I took it off of my wall. So the
So,
pins are all the way up to like the top of the lanyard. So
okay,
I'm stabbing my neck.
before we get into all the reasons why you should not do what Kay is doing, because I'll explain that. I will explain that. But before I get into it, let's talk a little bit about history of pins before we get into the nitty gritty.
Let's do it before she makes fun of me because she just really wants to make fun of me. And my collection is a great collection.
It's not about the fact that it's a bad collection. It has nothing to do with what I want to share. Nothing at all.
All right. So the history, the nitty gritty. Pins have been in the parks since the parks opened. So that is not anything new. Since park doors opened, pins existed. But pin trading began in October of 1999. Walt Disney World Resorts had a millennium celebration. So it was this like 15-month long celebration. There was an Odyssey of the Mind function at Epcot, and this was where pin trading began. And people really became like enthralled with it. And so then that concept moved over to Disneyland in April of 2000.
Interesting. I will tell you, when we were young, pins weren't really our thing. I mean, Kate kind of started a little bit, but
They
I don't
weren't
remember our parents getting pins
they
when we were
weren't
growing up.
big in trading like they are now. Like there weren't big mystery packs, which we'll get into. It was more so like see face value, see what you get, and then if you want to trade it, you can kind of thing.
Right.
Just a little bit about the other parks. They did have pin trading in Tokyo. That came in November of 2000 and then quickly died out in 2002. So I'm not sure
Two
what
years.
happened over in Tokyo, but I bet the pins they did have were really cool, if
Oh,
I
I'm
had
sure
to
they were
guess.
super elaborate. Like all of their stuff. All of their stuff is 10 times cooler than what we have here. It really is. Dream, bucket list. I
Yeah,
want to go.
me
And
too.
everything is so much less expensive. Like,
Once you're there.
once you're there, you got to get there. But like, park tickets are less expensive. Popcorn buckets, ears are like half the price.
Food. And then Disneyland Paris started pin trading in October of 2001, and that's still going. But basically, all of this started in Epcot in 1999. And I feel like that's not that surprising because Epcot has a lot of festivals, a lot of ideas come, people trade concepts, different things like that. So I feel like the concept of bringing pins and trading ideas, concepts makes sense for Epcot. Experimental prototype of tomorrow.
I was waiting, everyone. I was like, is she going to get through it? Is she going to say the whole thing? Or is she going to get through like two letters and be like,
I feel
oh,
like I skipped one though. Community of Tomorrow. Experimental prototype community of tomorrow.
okay, so I know we're not talking about Epcot, but can we talk about that for just a second? So, Epcot originally, the reason the name and what Kay is saying right now is Disney envisioned Epcot to be a thriving city. Like, he envisioned people living there. And I think about that sometimes of how much I would pay to live at Disney.
Well, you could. You could. There's like,
No, I want to be in the park.
oh, okay. I was gonna say there are like the houses and the communities, and those cost a lot of money. I get ads. I think that Disney knows I want to live there, and they send me ads. Do you know what neighborhood I'm talking about?
Is it Golden Oaks?
I think so. And they send me ads to these like $1 million homes.
And
I
you're
don't know
like,
who they think I am. They showed me
yeah.
one with 13 bedrooms.
Side note, everyone. So I put my Christmas tree up this last weekend. I am not human. I am not human. Partially because our mom always comes, and she had to come earlier this year, and so she's putting up our tree. And as my tree was going up, it did not have lights, like good portions of it. And my mom and dad got frustrated, and they said, "No more. We're gonna get a new tree." So we got a new tree. I'm leaning into your house. This is connected.
Okay.
Uh,
I was like, where are we going?
Kay's been wanting a new tree, so we got matching trees. But
Yes.
her tree won't actually probably fit very well in her house. So I want to
Not
give
in
a
my
description.
current house at all.
Kay's talking about getting ads for these $1 million homes, and Kay and her husband.
We tried to decide instead of using like a measuring well, what are those called? A tape measure like a normal
Yeah.
person to see if the tree would fit. We just stuck our arms out in our living room and we're spinning in circles to see if our tree would fit. The answer is
Also,
not really. It
also,
won't
mom and
really
dad, we're at the store getting your tree, and they're talking. You know how they talk to the salespeople because that's our parents. And they're like, "Oh yeah, she can just like flatten out one side of the tree, just push it up against the wall."
just no ornaments one side.
Mom goes, "I don't know if she has enough ornaments for this tree, anyways."
You know what that means is now I can buy more. I have so many Disney ornaments. We're so far off track, but anyway, one day maybe I can live in Golden Oaks in this $1 million home.
I'm sorry, I took a tangent very far. We'll come back.
Okay, so back to pin trading. After history, let's talk about where you can get pins in the parks.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. But there are like the big that's
There
true.
are
There's
each
lots of
each
little
park
stores.
each park kind of has a store that
Mhm.
has more pins than other places. So in Disney Springs, you're going to get like there is a Disney Pin Trader store, and it's like a 360 store that has multiple different openings that has pins all around the inside of it and the outside. And so they have all the packs, individual pins, everything you can imagine there. There's a pin traders in Epcot that you can go to and get to. They've got pins at the emporium, but I would say the bigger pin place is really Frontier Trading Post. So that is in Frontierland, and it has a ton of pins all over the wall. In Hollywood Studios, Celebrity 5 and 10 has pins, and Discover Trading Company and Animal Kingdom has a bunch of pins. But again, if you have a favorite ride, most of the time when you walk out, they have little gift shops, and there is a pin for that ride.
And we'll get into that. I have all sorts of ride pins.
So do I got one for my kid. I have other things too. So we'll get into that. But there's just the big hubs. The fun thing about pins, we'll talk about prices and all of that. The fun thing about pins is it's a community, I would say, right? Yeah. Just like most of the things we collect and do at Disney, there's this sense of community with doing it. And so you see people who have pins, they have pin books, they've got all kinds of stuff, and they want to trade and they want to share, and it's just really fun.
Yeah, I love it. I love so much about it. So let's get into types. So the first thing you can get is a singular pin. So this comes on like a little cardboard. Perfect. She has one to show. It comes on. I was like, I'm going to show you fake cardboard. A cardboard piece of cardboard.
It's a piece of cardboard. It's a strong piece of cardboard. It's kind of a glare. It's a strong piece of cardboard that on the back, when they're singular, they are separated into colors. Mm-hmm. So you might have a yellow. I have one that is a pink. I have seen like a blue, a purple, and it's a different price range depending on the color that you have for your pin.
Yes, and that cost range is usually between $13 to up to $25, depending how fancy the pin is. Sometimes even more if it's a jumbo pin or a special edition anniversary pin, different things like that. So those are the singular pins. Then you can get a set of 4 pins that are already open. So these you would also see on cardboard, but then they are covered in plastic. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they come on a trading lanyard, or sometimes they come by themselves, and it would be like 4 princesses or 4 superheroes. It's like a starter pack that would be a cheaper version to get you into pin trading.
Yep. Yeah.
Usually about $40. So then you're talking $10 a pin, something slightly cheaper.
Yes. You talked a little bit about jumbo pins. So those can range about $35. They're large. I don't have any jumbo pins. Normally they have like a moving mechanism on them or something that makes them unique.
I do have ones that move, but I don't think they're jumbo.
Oh my gosh, we have a matching pin.
Which one? Is it this one?
What we're playing with. Well, they're not matching. Oh, maybe they are. They both say Everest. All right. So for those who are not watching, I noticed she was playing. So I was like, oh, there's some that have moving. So this is an Everest pin. So Everest is one of my son's favorite rides. That's why we have this pin. And it is a little Yeti that's going up and down on the roller coaster. And it says Everest on the bottom. It is so cute. But it was just funny because I didn't know she had it.
And it has lasted a long time. They sold it like 10 years ago, and they're still selling it today.
Well, I think he got it. He didn't get it this trip.
Yeah, but I mean, still, generally saying that it's been in the parks a while. It's a hot ticket item.
It is a hot ticket item. They also have mystery packs that's a single. So if it's a single pin in a mystery pack, you're looking about $10 for that.
Oh, I have these. I just didn't bring the packages upstairs. But a single pack would be, I'll take it off my board, would be like, this is one from that. So a mask. They have like this mask collection. And there's just different character masks that you can choose. And I like the little ones a lot.
Interesting. Okay. Then they tend to have a mystery 2-pack pin set, and that's around $20. And I think I have potentially 2 of these. Now, don't quote me because my son is not with me, and these are both his. So one is a Marvel mystery 2-pack. One is a Black Panther that he got, and one is a Spider-Man, and they're little round guys that are all, I think the whole pack was black, with gold accents on it.
Oh.
And then I'm assuming this is also a
Yeah.
mystery 2-pack.
Yeah.
And I don't know why my son chose this. It's Baymax. I don't know if it's
It's the
from.
emotions. So it's ranking the emotions.
Okay, continue explaining that because I don't
So one's a
understand
big
it.
smiley face and it's all yellow and it's happy. And then the next one over and it has a cat. I don't know why it has a cat. And then the next one
Is that the
is,
cat from the movie? Doesn't
yeah.
Hero have a cat?
I
Okay.
can't remember its name at the moment. And then the next one is orange and it's got like a straight line face
We're not happy or sad.
because
We're
there's a police officer, so something probably went wrong.
interesting.
So we're kind of bummed. Maybe that's when Baymax has some holes in him and he needs
Yeah,
to be
that's what I'm
taped back
thinking.
up.
Look, there's air coming out.
Yeah, so he's sad. You need to tape him back up.
So, anyways, I'm pretty sure that was from a 2-pack mystery.
Yes, more
Set.
2-packs are Haunted Mansion pins. So I
Oh yeah.
collected these in Disneyland. I have a lot of these boxes because I was one pin short. But yeah, they come in
You'll
2 packs.
always regret it.
I have an update about that. We'll get to it later.
Interesting. Did you eBay?
I'm not telling you yet. We'll get to it later.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
Okay, and then the next thing is a mystery pack of 5 pins. So these come in like a foil package. You
Yep.
usually rip the top, and either each pin is individually packaged inside or not. It depends on the pack. And there's a lot of characters. So a lot of times these are your Munchling pins. There's been like 5 different sets of Munchling pins. They have mugs, character mugs. They have, I'm trying to think of other ones I've seen people open recently, but those ones I love. I think they're so fun, but they're $45 a pack. And something about having your hands on 2 packs in my mind is more fun than 1 pack.
So this is where Kay and I differ. Pins are not my jam.
She won't spend the money on it.
I won't spend money on pins because at $45, give me some clothes. You can get me ears. You can get me clothes. You can get me a lot of snacks for $45. So it's difficult for me. My kids love pins, so we definitely have pins, but it's just not necessarily my jam.
Okay, the next thing, this is random. I tossed it on our outline because I found it on the Disney website. There, in case you want to know about it, there is a limited edition Mickey's Christmas Carol 24-day Advent calendar mystery pin set.
Okay, how many mysteries are within the set? Like,
24.
are there like, no, I know, but I mean, like, is there like 50 options and you only get 24, or do you get the whole set?
You get the whole set.
Okay,
so there's 20.
So you wouldn't be missing things.
I do not think so. But it is a whopping $250. It does come in a book, and then there's drawers inside the book. Then you have Christmas Mickey characters in front of a snow-covered window pane. I mean, it's beautiful. I looked at a lot of them. I could not justify that cost whatsoever. But
No.
limited edition, if you're a pin collector and really into that, I think you should go out and get it. If you get it, put a comment. I want to see you open your mystery pack.
I cannot imagine. That is 2 full days at Disney.
Well, not with stay.
Not with stay, but tickets. No comment. No comment. It's fine. You know what? You're right. If you have the money and you want to do that, live your life. Show us, because I am interested to see what it looks like.
We want to watch you open it.
Yes, for sure. Last is box lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And typically it's around $10 a pin. Kay showed you last time her shoes, her
Hmm.
running shoes. And we talked a little bit about the set she got me for my birthday. And these
There they
were
are.
Villain candles. And when we said it was a flop, she got me six. Six of these. There are six
Six
in the set.
boxes. I got her 6 boxes because
Six
there's six
boxes.
pins in the set.
And I was really hoping, obviously, for Ursula. I was hoping for Hades. Honestly, all of them are great. I got the Evil Queen, which it is a white candle with a purple backdrop of the Evil Queen standing in front of the mirror.
Yeah, it's like her shadow, her silhouette.
Yes. I got not one of these. I got four. I got I got I
I
got
gave
four.
these to her on her
Honestly,
birthday because the
comment.
day was going so terribly. I thought I'd give her some magic.
So comment if you're like the Evil Queen's my favorite. We can talk about it. I have a few to spare. The other one I got was Jafar. So I did at least get two out of the six. I did get a duplicate of Jafar, but you know, it was not the same experience Kay had with her shoes and getting
5 out of 6.
5 out of 6. But it's okay. It's a memory of that trip that I will never forget. So
All right.
that's typically what the box lunch. They're typically a set. Most of them are a set of 6, and they're pretty unique, fun pins.
They are. They are a little bit of a lighter pin, so they're not necessarily that official Disney pin. They're just a little bit lighter. The back looks different as well, just slightly.
So the back on it, instead of having Mickey heads, this version has like that recycling symbol,
Yep.
that glare all over it. But if you look at the back of an official Mickey pin, it has Mickey heads.
Yeah, and the Mickey heads will go
All over.
all the way on an official one. The Mickey heads will go all the way to the edge.
Yep. So that's how you know. Most of the time, if you're trading in the park, and we'll get into that, you can only trade official Disney park pins. Disney's not super strict on it, but
Mhm.
you will notice, like if you're trading with a pin trader, like somebody who wants to trade pins, they are very strict and they do get upset when they're not official Disney pins.
Yes. So let's talk about trading. Now we're here. So, trading, big thing is you will see in the parks cork boards. A lot of cork boards. That's mostly what you're going to see now. So, there's Mickey head shaped, like black cork boards.
Why don't you show them your cork board, which is not Mickey shaped? Just do a quick glance. We'll talk about it later. But essentially, yep, Kay's got her own cork board. There's a Stitch version. But it's just cork, so you can stick a pin directly into it and it
Mhm.
sits there. And so most of the time, if you're trading a pin, they'll tell you to keep your back because you're just going to trade this pin into the thing and you're going to keep the same back of the pin that you had previously.
Yes. So most stores have that cork board. Some stores have unique things. So they might have like cones or things related to the area of the park that you're in. They also, some cast members wear their own lanyards and have their own collection. And then some cast members also have hip, like they're larger, probably like a 6x6 black felt kind of thing that they have pins on as well.
Yes. And pin trading just came back a few years ago. So it left during
Yeah.
COVID, and then they were doing very limited trading on a few boards. Cast members were not trading during this time, and then they just brought it back maybe last year
Mhm.
with cast members trading again.
I did see a fun little thing online that if you see a teal lanyard in Disneyland or a green lanyard in Disney World, that's for trading for guests 12 and under.
Oh, fun!
Yeah.
I gotta remember that the next time I have my kids with me.
I've never like had my eyes out for that, but fun fact, if you have kids, keep your eyes peeled for a green or teal lanyard and the adults won't be snatching those pins.
It's good to know. Um, okay. So I want to call out Kay for a minute when I said like let me come back to this, how Kay's wearing hers. As a mom, both of my kids got a lanyard. So they both have a lanyard. Like Kay, my son has one that says Mickey all over it and has some pins on it, and my daughter has one that says Minnie all over it and it has pins on it. The thing with the lanyard and wearing them around your neck, the backs of pins can come off. So typically on an official Disney pin, the back of a pin, so like when you think about an earring or anything like that, is Mickey shaped. It's a little Mickey head and it goes directly into the pin. What happens when you wear them and you're taking them on and off and you're trying to get on rides or you're trying to do shuffling is the backs of these can fall off.
Mm-hmm.
And when they fall off, you inevitably end up losing some pins because it's loud. You don't notice when one falls. And then you have kids in tears because they remember that one pin that happens to fall off. So at least in my own experience, I won't tell people how to live their lives, but in my own experience, lanyards quickly after the first day were not worn anymore, and the kids wanted their pins in like a little Ziploc bag that was easy for us to pull in and out and for them to trade when they wanted, and it was able to keep all their pins safe.
That's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. And a lot of people nowadays use bags. Like Disney's coming out with these really fun, cute bags. I wish I had one. I have pictures on our outline, but you guys can't see those.
I'm dying because growing up I played softball and we
pin
traded. I don't know why. I don't know if this was a St. Louis thing. I don't know if this is what all softball players did, but this was a thing in select softball is you had a pin for your team and you would get a bunch of them, and when we'd go to nationals and different things, we would pin trade. And so I have a big pin trading book even at my house.
A binder. Now. It was a binder.
Yeah, it's a binder that flips open.
And it zipped.
Yep. That has all of my pins from softball. So that's what these remind me. That's essentially what it is.
Yeah. So basically now Disney has come out with these like purses of sorts that then have like a clear front and a little bit of a not cork board, but kind of texture of like little holes that you can put your pins in, and then a clear cover so that you can see the pins through and people walking can see those. So they can see either what collection you're working on, or if those are the pins that you're wanting to trade, they can like ask you as a park goer, are you trading that pin? Can we trade? If you are that talkative and wanting to go up to a stranger, people do it. I'm not that outgoing.
I would be mortified. Like, I would whisper to someone, be like, oh, their pin's really cool. But when I wander around, like, my Loungefly or different thing, people are always like, oh, your Loungefly is so cool. Where'd you get it? And I'm like, oh, I never have the courage to say that kind of thing to people.
I feel like I'm getting there, though. Like, the more stuff I have, I like talking to people about their thing.
I get that.
And mini binders, speaking of your big binder, mini binders are also really becoming a thing for big pin traders now, like little mini binders that have rubber pages in them that they put their pins into so that they don't scratch.
Yes, you don't want that.
Mm-mm.
I remember that. So my binder, my softball binder, again, years ago, it had pages. You'd put the pins in, but then there was like a layer of like felt between the next page so your pins didn't rub and scratch.
Yeah.
I'm really curious now if I happen to have anybody that is listening to this that has ever played select softball, or you've got a kid that plays select softball, let me know. Do they still trade pins? I don't.
They traded pins at the Olympics.
See, I don't like. Yeah, maybe. Maybe we were ahead of the game. We were ahead of the time.
Well, I was going to say no, but yes. Because I was going to say Disney was ahead, but no, Disney still would have been ahead, 1999.
They were ahead, not by much. But they were ahead. Let's
So,
not.
back to the parks. You can trade up to 2 pins with a cast member at a time. So you can take 2 pins off of their board, off of their lanyard, and give them 2 of yours.
Yep.
Their rules say you can only do official Disney pins. Most cast members will also let you give them an Amazon pin or a box lunch pin. They're not that particular because that's a lot of the pins that I see on the boards when I'm at Disney.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you typically won't see a really like individual high quality pins because most people aren't trading those. If they bought them as individual pins, they wanted them for a reason, so they're not going to give those away. It's more of mystery pack dupes and things like that.
Or mystery pack dupes that are on a trading board are picked up immediately. I had a dupe from the Haunted Mansion pack. I put it on the board, and before I could even walk away, someone grabbed it off of the board and put a new pin when I was in Disneyland.
Open those boards closely. Okay. We're going to talk a little bit about our collections. And when we say...
there's one more thing.
Oh, what?
Have you heard about secret pins?
No.
Okay, so there's this thing, I've watched a lot of videos where cast members now sometimes will have their pins on their...
I dropped a pin. Sorry, everybody.
Will have their pins, some of them on their lanyard, turned backwards. And if you want those pins or are interested in those pins, they have trivia questions for you.
Oh, I can win at that.
And they'll ask like an easy trivia. Do you want easy trivia or do you want hard trivia? And if you get the question right, it's like a less nice pin or a more nice pin based on the answer. And then they show it to you. And it's usually like a high quality pin if you get the question right. And they're turned around backwards like this. Like you just see like the Mickeys.
Interesting.
And so those are secret pins, and they're not on the board. They're on a cast member, and they have their own questions. And usually they'll ask you like a category, like, do you want Star Wars or do you want princesses?
Princesses. Always princesses. Never Star Wars. We can't... if you've listened to us, you know we can pronounce nothing related to Star Wars.
No.
So not our jam.
Okay, that was my last fun tidbit. I think that I've never ran into someone who's are backwards, but I'm intrigued.
I am intrigued. Now I'm going to look the next time we go. Which, speaking of, I was telling Kay before we started, my January trip is coming up very quickly, and I hit the 60-day reservation mark this week on Friday morning. And the group of friends that I am going with have never been. I think one has been maybe once, and some of them have been to Disneyland, never Disney World. So I gave a full list of like, here's...
She overwhelmed.
I stressed them out, I think, because we've talked about a character meal, so I gave them a list of all the character meals with price ranges, a link so they could look. I gave them, we're doing Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. I gave them a list of all the restaurants in Magic Kingdom, all in Hollywood Studios with links, as well as Disney Springs. And the responses, like, the one response I got back so far made no sense. So bad that she sent me the response and I said, these are terrible response. Like, they didn't even make sense. So we'll see. I might just be rogue reservationing for the group. But we'll see. So we're going to talk about... You're judging me?
No.
And she's lying. I know we're lying face too.
Let's do our pins. You want to go first? You want me to go first? We going back and forth?
No, I don't have any sets. I showed you my set. The set I had was the candles. But I will show you some of my random things that I have.
All right, let's see it.
Because that's all I have, randoms. So I already showed one 50th anniversary. So these are both still on cardboard. So one of the 50th anniversary pins, this was a special pin, and it's just Mickey and Minnie in their normal garb, and it just says Walt Disney World. And I have another 50th one, which is actually a big 50 with Mickey and Minnie in it, and it's very cute.
I love
it. It's got them in their 50th outfits, which were kind of like purpley blue shimmery, so that's kind of fun. I have an Everett. My son has an Everest, which I already showed because that was his favorite ride. And then my daughter, not this trip, last trip, was still very into Anna and Elsa. So I have an individual Elsa pin with her horse
Mm-hmm.
from the second one.
I don't think there's a third movie.
It's coming out. And there's an Anna from that one as well. So I've got those.
Pre-pin. It's a future pin.
It's a future pin. I'm just projecting. I'm projecting outward. Last trip, you've all heard Ursula's my favorite, and so my son found an Ursula pin, and he convinced my mother to buy it for me.
I love it.
I don't even remember how it happened. He handed it to me and said, Mom, I showed Nana this pin like 6 times. Here you go. So he knows I love Ursula, so I have an Ursula pin. They also, when they trade pins, they work really hard to find things that they know we like too. So I have another Ursula pin. There was a series that was the entire Disney alphabet, and my son found a U for Ursula, and it has a hidden Mickey. So there's hidden Mickey pin, and so this has a little hidden Mickey up on it, which is pretty cute. I also wanted to show, I don't want to say how terrible pins can be, but sometimes the trade you get is rough. And this is one of the pins that my kids picked from a pin board. And it literally says, I'm here for the pins. And it's, I don't know.
Great pin.
It's terrible. I don't know. There's so many random things. Like, you get things like this is a cruise line pin. So someone traded their cruise line pin. It's a little Mickey with his hat.
So fun though.
And I'm just showing some smatterings of things. This is a black pin that's got a neon Mickey on it.
That's a collection.
Is it?
Is it real though?
It is. It has Mickeys all over the back.
That's like a 9-piece collection. It's all the emotions. So it's Mickey, it's green, and then it's a Mickey Emotions collection. So they have purple, pink,
He looks
red, green, blue, yellow. I've watched a lot of people collect. I watch a lot of videos of people just collecting pins.
Look, Kay's going to tell you all about the pins I have because I have no idea what any of them are.
She's like, I have this one. It's probably not that cool.
Well, it's just things that the kids are into that I'm like, here, I got a random Buzz face.
Oh, that's fun. Face. It's like a block. He's a Buzz block.
I'm trying to think. I was like, I don't feel like I want to show ones that are not official Disney. This I think is a Pirates pin. It's got a Mickey as the top of a skull and crossbones, and then just regular crossbones below that.
I like it.
On my daughter's set is, it's very princess heavy. She has a lot of Duffy bears. So
she'd be very popular in Japan.
She would.
Or Paris.
So I think there's a Lena Bell there. I don't know any of the rest of their names, I'm going to be honest. But Duffy is a bear. It's Mickey's bear. And he is a collectible in Japan. But my daughter has 2 different Duffy bear pins.
All right.
We just have the most random things. I have a Minnie Mouse face with glasses on it. I got a Tink pin.
All right.
Okay. We got some Tink. I'm only showing ones that appear to be real Disney, not traded terribly. This is a Geo Mickey.
Ooh.
Which looks fun. And then last, I'll show a few of my sons from his lanyard, which again, we got a Mike Wazowski. Oh, this one he was really excited about. I'm assuming this is a collection. So this is a Tower of Terror pin shaped like a Mickey that has a hidden Mickey on it. But it's a fun little collection. We've got a Pascal that's not real. we have Chip. And I thought,
I finally, for the first time, it has taken me forever, but I finally figured out how to tell the difference between Chip and
chocolate
Dale.
chip.
Yeah, but I didn't know that. So I was always confused how everyone was like, that one's Chip and that one's Dale. Like, how did everyone know? So for those of you that don't know, Chip is the one with the black nose, like a chocolate chip.
Yes.
And Dale has a red nose. I thought people were figuring it out by their teeth, like all sorts, and I could not remember. But chocolate chip, you remember, I got you.
And then I also have a Jack Skellington pin.
Ooh.
Oh, and I feel like I need to show this again now, because now I'm pretty sure this has a different meaning, Kay, and this will be the last thing I show, if I can find it again. I showed a skull and crossbones. Okay, so earlier I showed a skull and crossbones, which was a Mickey. It had Mickey up in this body part. Well, this is another one, and it's Donald.
Donald. Oh,
So I'm gonna guess it's a
collection.
The collection as well. We got a Mickey and a
We'll have
Donald.
to look it up.
I know. We got two.
Look at him go. He
I
knows what
know.
he's doing.
I know. All right. We have tons more. My husband tends to be that person. He buys pins in bulk. So typically eBay. He goes and buys bulk pins for us to then take to the parks and trade because he doesn't want to spend. And I get it. Like, we don't want to spend a whole bunch of money on pins that the kids want to trade away. And when they spend their money, like my son on those Baymax pins, when they spend their money or our money, they want to keep those pins. They don't want to trade them. So we tend to buy in bulk. We bring them in. We do make sure that they're official Disney pins, so they have the Disney logo all over the back. But that's typically how we do it, just to save ourselves a little bit of money. And then we're prepped and ready to go when we get into the park.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. I gotta take this bad boy off. Hang on. Okay. There's also a hodgepodge of random pins on here that like aren't Disney, but and I'm not sure they're all real either because some of them are just traded. So nope, they're not all real.
I was looking at the backs.
They're not all real, but I'm just gonna show you what I got. So I have a traded Eeyore and Piglet.
Cute.
And then this Hollywood Studios one.
Ooh.
And then the next one
That's like
down.
an old school. That's got the sorcerer's hat.
Yeah. And the next one down is a 2009 Walt Disney World pin, and it dangles. Can you see it?
I can see it. You would have been young.
Yeah, that was probably one of the first ones. I have a Stitch pin.
Your
and then below that we have Wendy and SeaWorld. Random.
Wendy? I'm more
traded
concerned
her.
about the Wendy.
Traded for sure. And then I have a sparkly Cinderella.
That also was probably a trade. You're not a Cinderella gal.
Nope, trade. And then another Walt Disney World. This is definitely like a purchase.
Yep.
And then the Everest that we talked about. So this one slides.
I wish we were together because I'm just curious if if these my colors are brighter or not, or if it's
I don't think so. I think they're the same.
Like truly the same pin.
Yep. Next one down, I traded for this off of a cast member's lanyard. I went up to them and asked them very early on, and it's probably my favorite pin ever that I own. It's Splash Mountain with Dopey and Grumpy. And my favorite dwarf is Dopey, and my sister's is Grumpy. And so it's us riding Splash.
Oh, love it.
So I've always kept that one. And now Splash isn't even Splash anymore. So that is a relic. I traded for a Jiminy.
Okay.
And then there's, I don't even know. There's something from
I can't see it.
Another park.
It looks like Anheuser-Busch.
Shikra.
Sherka?
No, Shikra. I don't know. What's that other park in
Busch Gardens?
Yeah, that's what that's from. Okay, then this side, we have to be careful because there's not a back.
See? You're proving my point.
I definitely lost it, but it's in this lanyard at the bottom. I kept the back and it's hot glued on, so that's why I have to be careful with this side. But I have a Merlin.
Oh, with a hidden Mickey?
with a hidden Mickey. And then I have an Animal Kingdom pin. It
Mmm.
looks like a very old one. This is the one with no back. So it's TikTok,
Oh,
and he's eating Captain Hook.
love it.
And I lost that back at the park. I wore mine around the park for sure. This is a Tinkerbell. It says where dreams come true. And then I have a Mickey and Donald. Totally traded that. Another Walt Disney World pen, but this is like, I don't know. It's some anniversary something. It's a little glary.
Okay.
And then this is a fun one. Hollywood Studios Rock and Roller Coaster
Oh, that is.
with
Oh, it
all of
spins
the
upside
characters,
down.
and it goes upside down. So it's totally from our parents. They would get us like, or at least me,
Not me. I got
ride
Ursula.
ride ones. So I have that one. I have Everest. These next two are also rides. So Haunted Mansion with Mickey riding it.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next one down is Tower of Terror. And it has Stitch as a bellhop
Oh
inside.
my gosh, I love that one.
Oh, and Alice. Hey. I
And
traded
Alice.
for her. There's some randoms. So there's bought pins on here, traded pins, purchased like plethora. Oh, and at the bottom there's a universal pin. Random. Yeah. There's
You just
also Cardinal
threw everything
pin
on there.
Yeah. And then last thing, this is my pen board. I just got it this year.
You did.
Stitch. I love it. It has my collections. So it's definitely really glary in here. I'm trying to find like the right angle. I don't know,
I
is
see
that
an
worse?
orange bird.
Might be worse, better. Oh no. Lost the light.
What is happening?
I dropped my light. Okay,
No.
that's worse. Okay, this is better though. A
Okay.
little. So we have the mask collection up top. Oh, if I go back here, is that better? Like this? Like Okay, so it has Dopey, which you can't see because it's full glare, and then Jack Jack and Baymax. So those are the individual, like single $10 masks.
Right.
I know for a fact that I had another mask that I opened that my whole family debated what mask it was because it was a character from, I think we decided Fox and the Hound. And then I never brought, like, it never made it home.
I don't remember this conversation. I don't even remember the debate.
You don't remember this?
Was I there?
Yeah, in the text.
I
Yeah.
don't remember this.
It
I don't think I
happened.
was
We
part of
couldn't
it.
figure out whose eyes I had. I'll figure it out. I traded for a people mover in Disneyland.
Love People Mover.
Oh, and the way that trading works in Disneyland, just a little side note. They have at 2 stores these cases of pins that they have like 2-pack shadow boxes, 5-pack shadow boxes. If you open the pins in the store in front of the workers, you can trade in that box for a pin that you can see, as long as it's for another 2-pack box. So I was opening a Haunted Mansion set, which is a 2-pack set, and the People Mover is also a 2-pack set. So they didn't have any Haunted Mansion pins, but they had the People Mover one.
Nice.
And so if there's one you want, you can trade for it right there in the store.
Nice.
But you have to open it in front of the workers. Okay, and then next, sorry about the glare, I have Winnie the Pooh's. This is the whole set. Tigger's and Eeyore's. And then this is Play in the Parks.
Oh, yeah,
If
yeah.
you guys are interested, I can put my link. I open a lot of these on TikTok. Not to
She
plug
does.
myself, but and then this collection is one of my favorites. It has Orange Bird, Tinkerbell, Walt and Mickey. It has the Hatbox Ghost, the Cheshire Cat, the Pirate's Dog, and Stitch. I opened that this January. Wow. And I'm only missing one, and it's Dumbo.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I traded for some like pretty bad ones. Maleficent, not sure she's real. And this random thingy over here, not sure what that is either. I have 7 of the 8 of the Haunted Mansion pins. So this brings me back. I can finish my thought here. I found a Facebook group today. It's called Pin Trading Disney Facebook. So if you are
Unique name.
interested in pin trading, there is a huge Facebook group and it's called Pin Trading Disney. There's thousands of members and you can either trade pins, so your duplicates show what you have. There's all these books that people are trading, or they show their pins and what they're selling them for.
Interesting. So
And I found a Constance.
You did?
I'm putting my light back on. Yep.
Did you get it?
And I'm getting it, I think. Hopefully I'm not scammed. I already sent my money, so hopefully I'll be getting a pin.
You sent money?
Yeah. It's someone that posts a lot, so I feel pretty good about it.
Okay. How much was it? Are you willing to say?
Sure. Wait, how much is a 2-pack set? Okay, I don't feel that bad about it because it has to be shipped. $14.
Oh, that's not bad. I was
waiting to complete my set. I ran as Constance Hatchaway for the 10K, and she's the only pin I'm missing. I opened so many of these.
Also, now I can call you Drew.
No, because I didn't eBay it.
Doesn't matter. You did the same thing.
I really want to
not
pin trade
true
with them,
authentic humans. What?
I want to pin trade with someone though.
Okay, all right.
I want to do that. I also have this metal replica pin. So Run Disney does metal replicas, like mini ones. So this is my Dopey replica medal from that, and then I have one from the Halloween weekend. And then all of my shoes are down here, so that now you can finally see the shoe collection.
See the shoes. I love it.
And you can see the Eeyores a little better now with the lighting. So yeah, I'll have to figure out what that mask one was. I was so sad because I knew that I opened 4 and I came home and I only had 3.
I don't know. I don't remember this at all, which...
That's wild.
It doesn't even ring a small bell.
Because we were trying to figure out whose eyes it was.
Why would they do Fox and the Hound? Except to make you cry.
Maybe that's not what it was then, but it was something random.
Well, we'll circle back next week and maybe we'll let you know what it is, if we can remember. But now you've learned the basics about pins. We'll keep you updated on our pin journey. Kay loves to get pins, so
I'll let you know if my pin comes.
follow her. She'll put her link for her TikTok, and you can follow her in that journey. Or maybe she'll do some shorts of her opening some pins on our YouTube channel too, so you can kind of see it in there. But before we go, let's end with a little bit of fact or fiction. So Mickey Mouse's first words were, "Oh boy." Fact or fiction?
You've been listening to Sisters in the Kingdom. If you like this episode, please drop us a rating or review below. We hope you've enjoyed this little piece of Disney in your day. And remember, you are the magic.